The escalation has been so bad, by the way, you need to cover it again. It's been getting much worse. They're about to put the guy in jail. They don't even let the lawyers in, blocking TV channels from showing it. What?
Demonstrations are planned at universities across Istanbul today amid calls for wider protests over the arrest and detention of President Erdogan's top rival, the Istanbul mayor, Ekrem İmamoğlu. On Wednesday, students...
So you just put him in jail? Oh, is somebody running against me? Put him in jail.
Protesters clashed with riot police in the capital, Ankara.
Holy
police
shit.
deployed tear gas and water cannon on crowds.
By the way, I think this is totally justified. If you are usurping the democratic process, the only alternative is violent protest. I hate violent protest. I think it's horrible and destructive. But the only thing that's worse than that is taking away people's democratic representation.
In the capital, protesters also gathered in cities across Turkey. Despite a government ban which extends online,
You changed?
police
No, I
say
never
they
have.
detained 37.
It was the same argumentation that I used for why I thought that, for example, like the Boston Tea Party was okay versus like people attacking the Capitol building on January 6th or something like that. No, I've been completely consistent about this the entire time. If the government is invalid, then so is the law. Exactly.
Despite a government ban which extends online, police say they detained 37 suspects for allegedly making what they called provocative social media posts.
Provocative social media. But what a bunch of fucking bullshit, man. Oh my God. I think we really forget how lucky we are here in America. Man, some of these other countries in the world are really fucked up.
Mr. İmamoğlu was set to be named as the presidential candidate for the opposition Republican People's Party, known as the CHP. The government say they are cracking down on corruption and accuse the opposition of links to a terrorist group. The opposition say this is about Erdogan consolidating his power. Our reporter Emily Withers brought us up to date.
So I think what's interesting is that İmamoğlu may have spent the night in custody, but it's the opposition party that still controls the municipality here in Istanbul. So when people woke up this morning and commuted into work using the metro, they heard the voice of İmamoğlu blaring out on speakers. There are already calls today for more large demonstrations to happen at universities across the city. There's calls for more wider protests.
Well, I still go to Turkey now? No, in my opinion, I don't think this is going to stand. I think they're going to have to acquiesce. They're going to cave to this. Like you can't be putting your political opponents in jail. You can't do that. Like, I'm sorry, like Turkey is not like a third world country. Turkey is a developed, educated country. I don't think this is going to fly. Now, I could be wrong. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Particularly here in Istanbul and in Ankara, as you said.
It's third world? I didn't say it's first world either. I said it's not third world. Like, this country is not a complete shithole. I've seen videos of Turkey. The place is not awful.
There were large crowds, tens of thousands out on the streets in Istanbul and Ankara last night who clashed with police. But the numbers still aren't quite large enough to really put major political pressure on the President Erdogan. We may see the protests grow as we move into the weekend, but Turks know that it's very risky to protest here in Turkey. There are many detentions that happen here, and they may not want to take that risk. We're also seeing arrests related to online media. So the Turkish authorities have said that they detained 37 suspects already.
Somebody in chat, something similar happened years ago with bigger protests until Erdogan took out the tanks on the street and caved the protests. Countless arrests and everything ended his way. Fuck, man. Is that true? Well, fuck, maybe I'm wrong. I didn't even know that.
for allegedly making what they called provocative social media posts over the detention of Imamoglu. We also expect that there will be more arrests of opposition figures in the coming days. Meanwhile, when it comes to Imamoglu, we know that the authorities here have now seized his construction company that he co-owns, and it may be that in the coming days he is replaced with a government appointee pending his investigation.
So this is the guy also who, in order in Turkey for you to run for office, you need to have a degree of a higher education. And didn't they also revoke this guy's degree? I mean, like that's is that it? Yeah, same guy. Okay, all right, good. That's kind of weird, though. You're wrong, though. It might happen. Germany probably wanted to change the U.S. laws during World War II if they won the war. I mean, I don't know. Like, we could talk about this on both sides, right? Where it's like I could look at Russia, right? Where like Russia, like you've had, like basically they've had a culture of, I would say, oppressive government for a very long time, right? And I think that China is to an extent the same thing. But like a shift in culture to oppressive government isn't quite as common. And the most recent example of that change actually failing would be South Korea, right? When the South Korean prime minister tried to institute martial law and then he was totally fucking out. But then you can also use the argument of Iran in 1979. So those are like, I don't know. Since the beginning of Russia, yeah, so it's like, it could be both. 1989, Tiananmen Square and protests. Yeah.
Tell us a bit more
Turkey's
about
different.
Ekrem Imamoglu
Well, it's always different.
And why the concern around him from President Erdogan.
Ekrem Imamoglu is incredibly popular. He's very charismatic. He appeals to people across the political divide. And on Sunday, there was supposed to be a major opposition voting round where they were going to name Ekrem Imamoglu as their presidential candidate in future elections. The opposition say that that's still going ahead despite what happens to Ekrem Imamoglu. And, you know, this is part of a months-long crackdown that we've seen here in Turkey where many opposition mayors, business leaders and journalists have been rounded up in a nationwide crackdown. And, you know, Imamoglu wouldn't be
Maybe my understanding was wrong because I really thought Turkey was much more. I don't like using the word because there's a lot of baggage with it, but much more progressive. I've always thought of Turkey as like one of the much more progressive countries. Muslim countries? Yeah, exactly.
First political leader to be put in jail. Just earlier this month, the leader of a Turkish opposition party was arrested and detained. He's currently in jail right now, pending a trial on charges of insulting President Erdogan and inciting hatred. He too has called the charges political. And this is all part of Erdogan trying to shore up power, potentially ahead of early elections.
I also think, like, I don't want to make this an argument with Trump, but, like, can you guys see the difference between, like, some of these guys, like, in these other countries that are getting put in jail for stuff and, like, the stuff that Trump did? Like, these guys are getting put in jail for, like, total fucking bullshit, right? Like, it's... And I think also even Trump getting put in jail or potentially being put in jail for things that were, like, kind of legitimate... even that galvanized people completely against the Democrats. I said this, you go back 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when they started trying to like charge Trump with a bunch of stuff. I was like, you either take him out with this, right? You put him in jail, you totally destroy him, or he's going to win. It is literally one or the other. This is crazy. Yeah, I didn't know about any of this. So this is the event right here. Holy shit. And by the way, like, you can't criticize them for wearing masks and shit, right? Because, like, these people do get apparently politically prosecuted. I know a lot of people look at that as a bad thing, because like here in the US, you have people that usually wear masks if they want to commit the crimes. They're shooting gas all the time? Oh, really? About outside Istanbul municipality for the 4th night in a row to protest the detention of Mayor Asmongold. Oh my god. Wait, what the fuck? Holy shit! Oh my god! Look at all this! Oh! This is corruption? I mean... It doesn't look like anybody's really fighting back at all. It's not like they're throwing things at the cops. It's tear gas? Wow. I just want you guys, whenever you hear about some pampered, 30-something millennial that lives in a middle-class area that's a gated community in the United States, talk about fascism and government oppression, I just want you to think back on this. This is crazy. And by the way, all of these protests, there's a bad boy. Okay. All of these protests are because the democratic process apparently just, it just decided not to do it. Like, it just decided, you know what, let's just not do it. Oh my God. And, yeah, remember this is, this is Hassan. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not sure, like, what Hassan thinks about this at all, right? I've no idea. But, I mean, it's not like Hassan's... What are you guys... You're trying to blame this on Hassan? Why are you trying to blame this on Hassan? He didn't do anything. It just doesn't have anything to do with him. Yes? Why would Hassan do this? I don't know, guys. Yeah, I don't think this got anything to do with him, man. And, yeah, wow. This is insane. Oh my God. Let me see if I can look at a few more of these. And it's just incredible. 2 days. These are more of the protests here. And this is a live, this is a live broadcast. So it's literally happening right now. Holy fuck, man. Some countries use paint in the water cannons so violent protesters are easier to identify if they try to run. Really? This is a live view right now. They just split screen this? Yeah. It's surreal to see major events like this go down in real time. Yeah, it's crazy. We didn't even really watch the Syria shit that happened. It just kind of happened over a couple of nights, you know? And here's another one right here. I'm going to listen to this without the audio. Isn't it crazy to see a country where everybody's wearing the same flag? Can't relate. Wish I could. This is terrifying? Yeah, it is. I guess polis is obviously police. Arresting your opposition and not allowing free elections is tantamount to violence in the first place. Some people just say enough is enough. No, like, I said this before, like, what do you call it? Fuck. What is the Martin Luther King quote? Violence is the language of the unheard, or something like that. And it's something to that effect. And basically, this is that. Like, these people, like, they can't vote. Like, they're putting the guy that they're going to vote for in jail. Like, protest, not violence. The thing is that I disagree with violence inside of a democracy, but if you don't have a representative democracy, then how else can you, what else can you do? The protesters are not violent, by the way. You're right, they're not. Actually, that's a really good point. Yeah, like there's a couple of bad boys for sure, but most of these people are actually very well-mannered. You're right. No, that's a really good point. Even these guys, they're not attacking the police. There's nobody, at least right now, that are throwing anything at the police. They're just standing there. Some are throwing stones. Yeah, and that's bad. But what I'm saying is that it's a very small minority, and it's nothing like what you see here in America. Like, I would even say that this is mostly peaceful. I would say it looks like it's 99% peaceful. And the times where it's not, it's whenever they're spraying the fucking water at the people that are protesting. And we've got shit like this, man. This is us. This is us right here. Fucking embarrassing. Absolutely fucking embarrassing. Intellectual distance. So you're trying to sneak diss me? What are you unhappy about that I'm saying? Which bad faith argument are you going to make? What do you mean by that? Yeah, let me see. Which one is it going to be? Let me make sure I move this over to the side. You're bending backwards to give reasons why this protest is okay? Okay, here's the reasons why I think that it's okay. The democratic process has been apparently ignored. The jailing of political opponents. The seemingly escalation of... right. There's also government censorship, too. So the government is censoring people's speech. And then, number 4, you also have the violence that is being initiated seemingly by the government. So all of these things are totally different than what I would look at in America. People aren't being put in jail for opinions in America unless the opinion is they're gonna fucking kill somebody. People are, like, the vote happens, it's just that they lose the vote. And also, there's tons of people that are protesters that are massively violent. Look at this. Look at that store. If this is America, there'd be 50 people in that store stealing everything out of the store. This is nothing like the United States. The guy was arrested over corruption and fraud. Really? Then why'd they take away his degree? And why'd they do it to other people as well? Where's the proof of that? Yeah, according to who? Like, I mean, you don't find this to be unsettling? The level of violence doesn't matter. It's an illegal protest, so in your terms, it should not be allowed. Yeah, no, but, like, of course it shouldn't be allowed. But, like, what my point is that it's also illegal to just basically disregard the democratic process. So if they're not following the laws, then why should you? That's a totally different thing. Nuance is hard. Yeah, it's not even close. Like, if they were protesting because they lost an election, I'd be saying they're retarded. The same as I do with people here. Yeah, this is not America. Yeah, this is not happening in the United States. There's no dissonance here. There's no doublespeak here. It's just common sense, different situations, and reasonable viewpoint. Jesus Christ is moron. Yeah, this person comes in, argues every day. It's one of these serial disagreeers. It's fine. Anyway, let's see here. You silence the opposition by planting freight charges on them? It's possible that's the case. And is that? No, not yet. Not yet. The government's changing the rules? I bet they are. Yeah, this is awful, man. I didn't know this at all. This shouldn't even be a topic. The number of people that agree with the opinion is being targeted and not being able to protest on top of that? Yeah. Erdogan's ruling for 23 years, little bro. You don't know anything? I mean, like, if he's been ruling for that long, and, you know, apparently they rolled out tanks in 2016 to, like, stop protests as well. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's really making your argument. He's lying about the illegal protest? Oh, maybe you're right. I just don't know that. Bro, that was a coup? 2016 was an attempted coup, though? He didn't roll the tanks? Okay. Man. Wow. This video does a good job explaining. Yeah, no, if somebody wants to, the fake coup. Yeah. I mean, again, like, I'm kind of like, I don't really know a lot about Turkey's politics, right? I mean, I'm going to be totally honest. Like, I'm just looking at this as, like, basically a spectator. So, like, I don't understand, like, how it got this bad. I don't really know their laws. I'm not sure about their culture. Like, I've looked at it just very, very, you know, casually. So if I get something wrong, I apologize. I'm just basically just stream of consciousness talking about this. They have a lot of controversy with the government. We'll probably see more of it tomorrow with good info. Yeah, I'd like to see a video on this, like a good video that explains everything that happened. 2016, there was a coup, but it was civil compared to the other international affairs. The current leader is very similar to Putin. I don't know. Did they even hold a trial to remove the dude's degree? Probably not, but I don't know. Now you understand why in France we're always protesting. As soon as we don't agree with our government, we manifest it. So it's important to manifest and let the government know that they're not all powerful and they work for the country. I mean... My friend's literally on the ground getting gassed. It's messed up. Turks have a lot of national pride. Won't stand for this. Oh, no, I know that. I remember the r/place, bro. The Turkey flag was always the biggest flag. It was that one and the France flag. Oh my fucking god. Like, yes, like they are the most patriotic. It is crazy. Best reference is Reddit? Yeah, I don't know. Bottom right sure looks peaceful. What are these, paintball guns? Yeah, I think they're paintball guns. Holy shit, man. It's crazy to see what's happening around the world like this, too. Like, I had no idea about this. Wow. Wow. Maybe this is a good video. I don't know if I want to watch this right now, but yeah, I might watch this tomorrow and just look at everything that's happening. Black belt Putin? Yeah, apparently he was like into jiu-jitsu or judo or whatever, yeah. Would you agree this is why we need Second Amendment to remain intact so we can fight back against our government trying something like this? I think that the Second Amendment has like a lot of purposes. Like obviously it has a purpose of like, yeah, like as some sort of collateral against tyrannical government, sure. But it's also for self-defense as well. And I think that it's also based off of the premise that I think that like really it should be about like why can't you have something rather than why can you have it. And so I think people should be able to have guns, right? Unless there's a really good reason for them not to. Someone who's living in Turkey, the reason for the protest is the unfair trial of one of the two strongest candidates against Erdogan. I'd also like to point out that the head of the opposition party has been detained for 2 months without any justification. That's insane. Don't listen to anyone who's against the First or Second Amendment, or you end up like my country. Yeah, I mean, like, again, I wish that more people in America, they saw how extreme this was to, like, compare, you know? Because it is fucking wild. Second Amendment isn't going to stop a drone or a tank, little bro. No, I agree with you. And I think that, like, by the way, I think that convergence began in, like, I think it was like 1790 when the Supreme Court decided that a person can't own a military naval vessel with a cannon. So, like, I agree with you, and it even goes back, like, that far. So, yeah, sure. Well, bro, yeah, it's deterrent. Yeah, it's a deterrent. The 30K civilians will do a lot. Yeah, maybe little bro's crazy disrespectful. I think he was just, I don't think he meant it that way, but maybe he did. No, they ruled the opposite. Maybe it was a different one I'm thinking of. It was like some variation of that, where like basically they ruled that you, because like the argument was that the intention of the Second Amendment was for people in the U.S. to have equivalent arms as the military. But then very quickly, as the military grew and advanced, you know, it became like, okay, well, we can't do that. Second Amendment's a uniquely an American thing. Well, there's a few countries that have. Doesn't Switzerland, everybody has a gun too? It's not super uncommon. Yeah, I don't know what to think about this. It's kind of insane to see all this. Wow. Yeah, it's kind of insane to see all this happen. To be honest, this is BLM or left-wingers. Would you think that they had the right to protest? That was my point. No, I don't think that they had the right to protest because the democratic process was not being postponed. Their candidates were not being put in jail, and they don't have systematic oppression that removes their right to free speech. So here in America, and also you can protest whatever you want. Like I wasn't against BLM riots. I wasn't against BLM protests. I was against BLM riots. Like if all these people are breaking into the buildings, I would say that's really bad. Like I don't think you're doing anybody any favors by trying to like you know, paint with this massive broad brush where like all protests are the same. They're not all the same. And the goals that they have are not the same. The countries that they exist in are not the same. Everything about it is different. It's a total bad faith argument, and it's based off of a pretense that doesn't even exist. So which one's really different? Yeah, I don't know. Logic has its place and so does violence. It's a balance. Well, violence has its place when logic is ignored, right? And democracy is ignored, which seems like what's happening. Try to watch news from the US, Europe, and also China and Singapore, see if there's discrepancies between coverage. Oh, I'm sure that it's massively, like, biased. Your logic in the US is being ignored? Yeah, I know. You've been pretty consistent on saying protests where illegal activities aren't done are totally fine. I don't know why people try to twist it on you. The reason why, it's because they want to be violent and protest, and they think that if they violently protest, that they can force people into doing what they want. That's the reason why you have so much of that happen. That's the reason why you have so many people that are like okay with it, is because they think that if we're okay with this and we let this violent protest happen, then maybe we can bully people into doing what we want.